Give me a good De Niro story. What do you got for me? What do you got for me, Bobby?
You know, I don't, man. I will say this, like, I worked on it. I worked on that movie, The Irishman, with Bob.
Right.
And well, first, let me go back because, I never dreamed I'd even meet Bob De Niro. And then all of a sudden, like, he came to a play that I was in. So I thought, coincidence, he just came to see this play. But he came backstage and he said, and that was the first time we met. I did this play, I don't know, 15 years ago, and he came back. And then every play subsequently after that, he would come to.
Mm.
He's not like a verbally demonstrative guy. He's not like overly effusive at all. He doesn't speak in hyperbole. He's just like you would imagine, just a lot of facial expressions.
Yes.
You go, I know he likes me, He kept coming and coming, and he didn't have to say it. I could tell, like, he likes me. I think he likes me. And then when the Irishman happened, we had a lot of scenes together, and it's the same thing. He doesn't talk a lot. There's not a lot of conversation, but man, nobody's better. Nobody's more prepared. Like, I really have learned that from Bob, from just being on set with him. I remember one day there was like Harvey Keitel was there, his friend Paulie was there, Joe Pesci was there, Marty, of course, all these guys, and then all these other guys from the neighborhood that he grew up in, because Marty likes to put these guys in the movies.
Yes.
So like I had a day where it was all childhood friends of Bob's in the scene. There's a scene in The Irishman where I'm like eating a steak.
Yeah.
And he's, I first meet him. And all those guys at the table grew up with him in the neighborhood in Little Italy. And Bob didn't chit chat with them. Bob was just by himself, just reading, keeping calm, not taking the bait of all the activity that was going around. It's a lot going on in a set. And I got to say, man, I learned a lot from that, because in The Irishman, I did a lot of watching Bob in the scenes, and I got just eaten up. And to be perfectly frank, I got a couple scenes cut, I think, because I was just staring at Bob. You know what I mean? I wasn't doing much acting myself. And so on this movie, I learned my lesson, and I have a scene in this movie where we're in a Cadillac Eldo all day long in this convertible, and it's a beautiful day. We're shooting in New Jersey, and there's like no chit chat. I mean, it was like 10 hours of we do the take, and he'd like put his hand on my lap and give it a smack, give it a little slap, like, good job. Or he'd reach over and squeeze my shoulder, or he'd give me like a,
Well, that's good.
And,
yeah.
Amazing, just amazing. And so I have to say, like, it's a great thing to learn later in your life. Like, I'm still a pretty amped up guy. And to dial it back and to just relax, I learned from the best. I mean, that guy, there's nobody more relaxed.
This is a beautiful movie, Bobby. Ezra, and you play a stand-up comedian, and De Niro plays your dad, and your wife in real life playing your ex-wife, Rose Byrne here. And William Fitzgerald is a neurodivergent actor playing your son with autism, and I'll give you the floor on the rest of it here on what happens. You're willing to reveal.
Yeah. So when we find my character, I've just been fired from my job as a comedy writer for Conan and O'Brien for punching him in the balls. And so we learn pretty quickly that this guy is a pretty reactive guy, an impulsive guy. And then we meet his son, who we learn is a very reactive and impulsive kid who's on the autism spectrum, and he's being expelled from his school. And my ex-wife and I disagree on what the next step should be. I don't think he should be medicated. She thinks we should consider it. I don't think he should go to a special needs school. She thinks he should. And I think that the world should just get used to his uniqueness. And so we failed to agree. And so in the middle of the night, I steal my dad's car, the Cadillac Eldorado, and I take off on a road trip with him. And I don't know what I'm going to do or where I'm going, but I'm going to try to figure it out with him. And that's the movie.
And that is the movie, directed by Tony Goldwyn with Whoopi Goldberg in it. So that's a nice little ghost connection right there. And De Niro playing your dad, and you playing a dad yourself, trying to figure something out. It's beautiful. I don't want to give too much away of how it ends, Bobby, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a nice movie, and it came about very organically. And sometimes, I've been doing this a long time now, and I've done more independent films than probably big budget films.
Yeah.
But I've done my share of them, of those big movies, and I have to say it's just different and more exciting and much more rewarding when you are with a movie from the ground up and you sort of build it and put it together. And this movie was really special like that. It happened like The Station Agent was like that. This movie took a while to make. It took us a long time to find William. We were committed to hiring a neurodiverse actor. It took us a while to get Bob to sign on. We had to work on that script for a while, and it's nice. And here we are now, and it's coming out in the movie theater in a climate where like movies don't come out in the movie theater as much as they used to.
Right.
And so I'm really proud of it. I'm really proud that this little movie is opening in theaters today.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.